Hey, I'm Saheem Ali. I am going to be directing the workshop of In the Middle here at the Lark, written by Donja Love. So Donja,
Yes.
In the Middle, what's it about?
So In the Middle is, I would say, a surrealistic view into the life of Mary, who is the mother of a young man, a young leader, a young activist who was killed by police. And we get to follow her journey of who she is as not just a mother, but as a woman. And we also get to follow her family as they kind of come together. And in the truest sense of the Babemba tribe in South Africa, who rallies around an individual to lift them up, her family kind of rallies around her to lift her up during this immensely devastating time in her life and help her navigate through the hardships of having to come to terms with her son being killed in such a public way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you talk a bit about the time period that the play occurs in?
Yeah. And so the time period of the play, it takes place over a 24-hour period. It takes place in present day, in particular during the Black Lives Matter movement.
Okay.
And so we follow Mary, we follow her family over this 24-hour period, and it's loosely based off of a Greek tragedy. And just in terms of how Greek tragedies takes place over a 24-hour period, and we see essentially the beginning, the middle, and the end of a story over this 24-hour period. So present day, during the Black Lives Matter movement over a 24-hour period with this family.
Great. And there's unity of time and place too. So also it happens in a singular place too.
Yeah. It takes place, so I'll say it takes place in a singular place, the basement of this family home, but then that's where the surrealism comes in because it stretches beyond just the basement. We have the ocean, we have a pool, we have so many other bodies of water, which is a huge symbolism for the play. So the reality is the basement, but the surrealism comes in the form of we stretch beyond the basement and we get to see other versions of this family and other bodies of water. Yeah.
So you mentioned bodies of water. Does that mean there is any water in this basement?
There's water every single where, everywhere. As soon as you step foot into the basement, you meet water.
Okay.
You meet water.
Okay. Yeah. In a real way.
And yes.
Okay.
In like a very real way. And I don't want to say too much about why. But yes, water is a very intricate part to the story. And it means so much to Mary and to the other individuals in Mary's life who also knew Nasir, who was the young man that was killed by the police.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the trilogy? Because In the Middle is part of a trilogy of 3 plays that you've written. So can you just give some context about that?
And so, like I said, In the Middle takes place during the Black Lives Matter movement. And the trilogy, the Love Plays, is a trilogy of plays that explores queer love during pivotal moments in Black history. So the first play explores queer love during slavery. The second play explores queer love during the Civil Rights Movement. And this play, In the Middle, explores queer love during the Black Lives Matter movement. And in one thing, well, a few things that worked as a connective thread for me, queer love being one, and that is how each piece connects. And then also, I was really interested in the elements, right? This very surrealistic feel for the entire trilogy. With the first piece, which is set during slavery, the elements are the earth and the air. So we have a talking tree, we have humming wind. And the second piece, which explores queer love during the Civil Rights Movement, we have fire. the sky is on fire the entire time for that play. And for, like we just talked about, right, within the middle, the element is water, water being everywhere. So on top of queer love connecting the three plays, the element surrealism connects to three plays as well. And certain characters are referenced throughout the trilogy, but just wanted to kind of bring this body of work to be a collective, but then they can stand alone as well and exist in their own space.
So you don't need to know what happens in the first one to understand the events in the third one.
Not at all.
Okay, but if you got a sense of all three of them, you'd sense the connective tissue.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
One of the things I love about how you describe the surrealistic elements that connect the three plays is that those are actually not surreal things. Like they're actually tangible things: air, water, fire, and what's the fourth one? The earth.
Yes.
Right? But the way they function in the piece is surrealistically, right? So you have something that's real and tangible, like existing in an unreal, in a surrealistic way for these characters. And I love that.
Yeah, and it so I'll be transparent. Before working on this trilogy, surrealism really scared me because I wasn't able to like wrap my head around how are these things happening in a very real way. But I just started to lean into it, right? And with the first piece in the trilogy, like I said, takes place during slavery, and we have this talking tree. I was able, for me, it's how can I root myself in it? So with this talking tree as it relates to slavery, just really looking at American history and the very unique and the very tragic relationship that Black people have with trees, right?
Yeah.
Thinking about fire in the second play during the Civil Rights Movement, where a lot of racially motivated bombings and crosses burning on lawns were used as this kind of device, as this way to scare and to harm colored folks. But what if you have a sky that's on fire that actually lights your way to the promised land?
Yeah.
And then with in the middle, not want to give too much away, but how one character is so connected to the water, and what that does for everyone else when we enter the world of this play.
Yeah, and I think of the dichotomy of water with the middle passage and like the fear of it, right?
Exactly.
What it represents death and life at the same time, right? Being also something that resonates, I think, for the piece.
Yeah. And then also, this is in the middle is a 5 character play. The majority of the characters being women, and the femininity that comes with water as well. And being able to see that before anybody even comes on to or into the world of this play, the femininity just exists, right? And then when the characters come, it takes it to another level. I would hope.
Well, you need water for life, to sustain it, to give it, to talk about it, all of it. Okay. How about the process of In the Middle so far? So we're week 1 into our rehearsals here at the Lark. How are you feeling about it?
Is it week 1?
Yeah, we're past week 1. We're in week 2 now.
Yeah. Okay. It's feeling really good.
Yeah.
It's feeling really good just in terms of we've worked together on this piece for some time now. So like we have a rhythm. Thinking of water, we flow in a certain way.
Yes, we do.
When we work together, so it's really nice to come back to this piece with you in like an extended process of time.
And in the same space too, which is really beautiful.
And so what I've been noticing, just in terms of just hearing the piece, reworking the piece, I came in here with 2 things that I talked to you about. One is water being everywhere, wanting to know how will this actually be possible, right? Like, what does this play look like? What would a production look like with water everywhere? So that was one thing that I really wanted to explore. Didn't think it would be possible, but you being the brilliant man you are, helped make it possible.
You wrote it, we make it happen.
And then the second thing is some of the characters exist in multiple forms, right? So wanting to see how this shift can happen. And so I came in with those 2 things, and I also came in here being very open to making extreme large changes. But as of now, I'm not going to imaginary world, that hasn't happened, yes, because I believe since we've been working together on it for quite some time, we've been able to like really explore and to discover. So the changes that I've been making and that have been coming up are very subtle things, right? Like maybe moving a section or a beat or a moment from here to here, extracting just a little bit, adding just a little bit, which has, for me, helped open up the world so much more. Yeah. So far, it's a really good process.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not pulling out what I would be.
You know, you won't be. We have a great cast, and just it really feels like you're being at the Lark. Like everyone is just like supporting it, like doing whatever they can to help us like figure it out.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing that's so helpful and so like fruitful for this process is the Lark is this community, and I think of the piece. And it referencing this tribe in South Africa, the Babemba tribe, and just wanting to create community and uplifting. And the Lark is very much that, like being this place that lifts you up, right? That puts you in the center, and just builds you up. So that's why I think for me the process has been so rewarding and fun and affirming. Yeah, come on, connection.
Beautiful. I love it.
But yeah. Hi, I'm Donja R.
I'm Saheem Ali.
And make sure you see In the Middle
Here at the Lark.
Come on now.